Everything after that I would characterize as either subjective, or I think a very simple way to put it is they're tiebreakers. So if you have two students, and you have one spot left in your class, this person's a 3.5, 1300, this person is a 3.5, 1300, this person has a dynamite extracurricular resume, and this person does not. In that case, when the academic stuff is largely a tie, extracurricular is going to sort of win out the day. But if you take this student and give them a 2.5 and an 1100 and a dynamite extracurricular resume versus a 3.5 and a 1300, you're going to take this student. Even if they have founded 4 clubs, president of 3 other, lead in the play, first chair of this, varsity athlete that. Okay? This is largely an academic evaluation. We're going to talk more about that. Objective criteria. Academic course selection grades 9, 10, and 11. Big time. Next. Test scores. Let's spend a couple of minutes talking about test scores. We have some 11th graders in the room, right? Anyone taking the SAT or ACT yet?
This Saturday.
Oh, okay, let me ask you a question. You are now the guinea pig for all of Livingston High School. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, oh my gosh, I'd rather stab myself in the eye with a fork, 10 being, this is the greatest moment of my life. How excited are you to take the SAT on Saturday?
10.
You're lying to me. Look, I'm not the only one, you're not the only ones with incredible BS meters, okay? I've been doing this a long time. Okay, how excited are you? A 3. Is anyone in the room greater than a 3 on taking the SAT or ACT at any point in time in the future? Exactly. Okay? Let's talk about test scores a little bit. Okay? Is there any anxiety in the room about taking the SAT or ACT? Yeah, why? Tell me why. I'm going to call on you guys, you 2 ladies. Why? Why anxiety? Uh-huh. Yeah, if you don't do well, we got to keep retaking it. Because, oh my gosh, we have to do well on this, right? It's okay. We all know it. We all agree with it. So let's talk about test scores for 2 seconds. Someone tell me what day of the week is the SAT offered? Saturday. And how early on Saturday morning is it offered? And that's like ridiculous. That should be illegal. I mean, we talk about a do-nothing Congress. We should make the SAT not start until 11. Because y'all deserve to sleep in on Saturday mornings. Okay? So it's Saturday morning. It's really early. It's at least 4.5 hours long, right? What do you take with you to the SAT? Oh, yeah, but not any pencil. The number 2 pencil. I can't wait to see what happens when someone tries to take a number 1 or number 3 pencil to the SAT. It's going to be the lead story on CNN, I'm telling you right now. Now, what do you do with your number 2 pencil for 4.5 hours on that Saturday morning? Fill in the bubbles. You make little patterns. Oh, no, whoops, that was my SAT. I apologize. Okay. I am the dean of admission. I have 2 pieces of data that I can look at in trying to evaluate a student's ability to perform in the classroom at Guilford, Connecticut College, wherever. I have a piece of paper which reflects your performance in the classroom for, at a minimum, 3 years. I have a piece of paper that reflects a 4.5-hour time period on a Saturday morning with a number 2 pencil filling in bubbles. Please tell me what's the more valid indicator of who you are? Come on, say it loud. Yes. Your transcript. And if you go back to this slide right here, 83% versus 59%. That's almost a 25-point gap. That is statistically significant. My advice to students is never, ever let a 4-hour time period on a Saturday morning, filling in bubbles, quantify who you are as a student. And I can tell you, since I finished 12th grade in 1989 at Radnor High School, I have not taken a single bubble test ever again. Okay? Also, if you hate your test scores, there are plenty of colleges and universities, including Kalamazoo College, including Ursinus College, including Guilford College, and including, I'm 98% sure, Connecticut College, that do not even require the SAT or ACT as part of the application. They are fully test optional. And if you want to find more test optional schools, there's a website out there, www.fairtest.org. So if you hate your test scores, you can find plenty of places out there that don't care. And I'm proud to have worked at a bunch of places over the last 10, 12, 15 years that fall into that category. Now, the final nail in the coffin of our conversation about test scores, okay, to bring in a little bit of humor here, okay, I want anyone to show their hand if they've ever seen anything like this. Exactly. Once you get past this intimidating, crazy, confusing, partially stupid college application process, your test scores don't matter in life at all. So it's a necessary evil, but don't stress too much. Okay? And good luck on Saturday. Make sure you wake up on time. Don't drink too much coffee before you go in there, because they will not give you a bathroom break. Speaking from personal experience. More objective criteria, your overall performance, senior courses in progress, and then that final bullet point, we hit a key fork in the road. Because up until this point, we've had pretty much everything under our control. You can control what kind of classes you take. You can control how much you study. For the most part, you can control the kind of grades that you get. For the most part, you can control how your SAT scores look to a particular college or university. But right here, we lose all control. Because you have zero control over the volume of applications that any particular school is going to get. In the state of Virginia, I use an example of UVA. Here in New Jersey, I use Princeton. You may decide that Princeton is the perfect school for you, and that is great. You have zero control over how many other students here in the United States also decide that Princeton is perfect for them. If Princeton has a record year, has more applications this year than last year, they're going to admit a smaller percentage. So we have to understand that we have no control whatsoever over how many other students apply to school X, Y, or Z. Okay? And this is where we need to make that decision as to whether we are opting in or opting out or trying a little bit of both for that highly selective college application pool, process, school, however you want to put it. Subjective criteria. Okay, there's a lot of talk about extracurriculars. Okay? 2 points on extracurriculars. 1, we are not looking for the laundry list of stuff. We are not looking for the student who has a list of 18, 20, 25, 30 things that they have done with zero depth and zero engagement. Okay? The second point is, the longer I've done this, and I hate to pat myself on the back, it's not in my nature, but my extracurricular resume out of high school actually looks really good. This is what I did. I ran cross country all 4 years. I was a team captain. I was all lead. I ran track all 4 years. I was team captain. I was a Boy Scout. I got all the way to Eagle Scout. I did 3 things, but I did each of them all 4 years. I did them with significant depth, and I mixed in just a little bit of achievement in the process. So we're looking for consistency, depth, engagement, and if possible, some achievements within that. Don't go for the laundry list. Second bullet point, we got to talk about the essay. Okay, this is going to be a little bit lengthy, so bear with me here, okay? This is what you do with your essay. You type it, you spell check it, and you send it in, correct? No? Why not? Someone is smarter than me in this room, which is not surprising. Why not just spell check it and send it in? Please tell me. Always room for improvement. What could be wrong? You know, I just listened on NPR on the way over here about a computer beating a grandmaster in chess. Therefore, the computer's smart. What could be wrong with spell check? Doesn't miss words. Like what words? What? Oh, we're going to get that. Yeah. There. Your. Okay? Spell check isn't going to catch that. How about this one? This is real life right here. I write a lot of emails over the course of the day. I like to type fast. Every once in a while, the word as gets an extra S. Okay, you do not want to submit an essay with the word as. Did I almost say that? Oh man, I'm in trouble tonight. You don't want to do that. So, don't rely on spell check. You should have someone else proofread it. You should proofread it yourself. And then the final step, and this is what I tell my first-year students at Guilford, because I teach a first-year seminar. If you really want it to say what you want it to say, print it out, read it aloud to someone else to make sure it has every word perfectly the way that you want it. Okay? Now, someone brought up the college name. Okay? And you're going to laugh, but this happens every year. If you are going to put the name of the college or university in the essay, make sure you send it to the right school. Dead serious. Because there's nothing worse than reading a great essay at my desk. It's awesome, it's fantastic, it's well written, it's articulate, it's funny, and then the final phrase is, and that's why I believe I'm a perfect fit for Roanoke College. Because the last thing you want me to do at that point in time is agree with you. Because if that happens, you're not coming to Guilford. I actually, we had that happen this year. I meet with our football coach twice a week during their heavy recruitment period. Okay, go over all their recruits. And we actually had a big-time defensive lineman recruit submit an essay to us that was titled Mount Union University Essay. Guess who is not going to play football at Guilford next year? Okay? So, don't settle for spell check. If you're going to put the name in there, spell it right and send it to the right place. Okay? Letters of recommendation, one tip on that, do not automatically pick the hardest teacher in the school. Pick a teacher who knows you well. It probably, the more I think about this, should be a teacher that you did not get the easy A from the whole time. Maybe a teacher who has seen you have to grow and adapt and develop to heightened expectations. Because as great a school as Livingston is, college is and should be hard. If it isn't, you are wasting your money. So having a teacher who can articulate you adapting and growing, maybe starting out with a B and finishing up with an A, that's who you want to ask to write a letter of recommendation. Okay? And then if you're looking at small schools that offer the opportunity to interview, I tell you, do it. Okay, now we get to the fun part of the evening. We have a little admission simulation, which means I need 8 student volunteers from the audience.